We've got 9 more regular season games in Season 2, and we're trying to win the NL Central for the first time, or at the very least, hold on to a wild card spot. Making the playoffs at this stage is very likely. I'm pretty sure we'd have to lose out, and things would have to get really weird to not least be the third wild card team. But today we look to wrap up the regular season and see what is to come. It looks like postseason baseball is going to be on the way in the Cardinals franchise, and we're hoping to finish the season strong and hopefully win a division title. We've got some players who have really crushed it for us down the stretch. You've got Sonny Gray, who's had an incredible stretch of games recently. We got Lars Nootbaar, 1 homer shy of 30. Jordan Walker has 23 and 85 this year. I just love the way the team has exceeded expectations with players that can be around for a long time. But we lost last episode against the Phillies, and we're continuing that series today. 6-5 St. Louis, bottom 9. Jeff Hoffman is coming in for the Phillies. All right, he's going to look to close it out here. We have a man on in a 1-run game. Here's Dylan Carlson. Fly to center. A lazy fly ball. That is out number 1. And here is perhaps the batting champion to be this year, Brendan Donovan, already 3 for 4. Grounded, and that could be 2. It indeed is. And the Phillies take the first 2 of this series. Tried to rally late. We scored 5 in the last 3 frames, but it was a little short. In the next game against the Phillies, Steven Matz gives us 7 shutout, winning 6-0 late. We hold on for a 6-1 win. And next we get one of the hottest pitchers in baseball, and that would be Sonny Gray. We'll do player lock again so we can track this start for Sonny. He has an additional start that we'll see if we end up playing. Right now, I'm just trying to see what the division race is going to do, if the last game means a lot, or what the best way to go about this episode is. But we've got Lars Nootbaar player lock. We're trying to get that 30th home run if we can. And helping Sonny Gray hopefully get win number 18. Facing a tough pitcher in Zach Wheeler. We've got a man on. Nootbaar. 1 more homer to 30. 7 RBIs to 100. And he clips the edge with a cutter. 2 strikes. And chase the sinker low. Wheeler picks up the strikeout. We do get on the board first. 1-0 St. Louis as Nootbaar tracks down the Bohm fly ball. A pitcher's duel here in this one with Wheeler and Sonny Gray. If the Phillies win this game, they win the NL East. And maybe we can match up in the postseason down the road. Who knows? Bottom 5, it's 1-0. Nootbaar is 0 for 2. Not much offense yet. Grounded up the middle. It's a play for Turner and a double play. Wheeler gets through 5. Hey, Contreras tacks on a run. Gorman doubles as well. We finally get a couple more. And Bryce Harper trying to get one back. So we talked last episode. Sonny Gray was on a 3-game stretch where he had pitched 25 innings. Whoops. And allowed 1 run. So far, this is 6 more shutout innings. Incredible stretch of play. That's 31 innings to give up 1 run. They do end up getting 1 there on the Castellanos single. And now Alec Bohm. That one shouldn't be as much of an issue. 2 gone. And now looking for late insurance. Out in front is Nootbaar. Wow, we're a game up right now. We're a half game up. So Milwaukee must have lost today. We were tied going into this game. We win this one, we're back in first place. Nootbaar cranks it deep and foul. Oh, come on, man. Ryan Helsley trying to shut this down. Here's Schwarber. A drive to right. Nootbaar back. Makes the catch. And that's your ball game. Cardinals take it 3-1. They're back into first place. And we have just 2 more series remaining. 6 games to play. Another brilliant outing from Sonny Gray. This has been one of the most impressive months I think we could ever see of a guy. We now face the currently 103-loss New York Mets. Game 1, St. Louis leading going into the late innings, and the Mets come back and take it. Ryan Helsley tacked with the loss as he gives up too late, didn't record any outs. It was a walk-off for the Mets, and I believe that'd be Mark Vientos with a 2-run double. In the following game, 4-3 in the middle innings, and the Mets take that one. Final score 7-4. Now we got Michaelis giving up 4, and the bullpen having another down day. Cardinals still own first place by a half game. And by this point, we have clinched a wild card spot. We will have postseason baseball next time. Just a matter of seeding. Edwin Diaz trying to protect a 3-run lead, and we got 3 on, top of the 9th. Who else could we have for this at-bat? Ivan Herrera, not the guy I want to hit in this spot. At least it's an easy choice. Off the bench, Wilson Contreras. Diaz 15 pitches in. Will he give us something we can drive? Not this time. Ball 1. It's a drive all right. Left center. It's hit well. And Contreras just missed it. Would have been a go-ahead grand slam. He flies out to the warning track. And it's a shocking sweep for the New York Mets. Came in with 103 losses and beat us 3 times. We move past the off day on the 25th. And we are a full game ahead of the Brewers, who are 2-8 over their last 10, and they've lost 6 straight. We've lost 3 straight. The Cubs right now are fighting for a playoff spot, and they are 1 win from clinching that. And they've got Shota Imanaga on the mound against Steven Matz. Now here is how he's developed in this franchise. Looks like he's doing very well. Imanaga is at 84 overall. Numbers don't look quite as good this season as they were last year, but they're still very promising. So now we'll go game by game and see where things line up for game 162. We got Jordan Walker player lock in this game. Wanted somebody who can try to hit the lefty. And here's Walker celebrating a fantastic season. He's one of those guys where I'm going to have to really consider if we want to do a long-term deal with him. Looks like he's going to be a mainstay in this offense, and he's really replaced that Paul Goldschmidt production at first base, too. Down the line, it's past the third baseman, and that's a hit for Walker. Contreras bounces it to short. They get Walker, and it's a double play. Steven Matz on the mound for the Cardinals gives up a homer to Christopher Morel. And we answer back in the bottom half of the frame, but then Dansby Swanson hits a solo jack. 2-1 Cubs lead. Brewers now a half game back. Oh, that was the one. But not this time, I guess. Brewers must have snapped the losing streak, so if we lose, back to a tie with 2 to play. The 0-1. Oh, I'm ruining this. That was close. I probably shouldn't have gotten away with taking that, but what am I going to do with the splitter down there anyway? 3-2. Finally got one, and it sent skyward to Dansby Swanson. Home run, Nolan Gorman. Tie game here in the 5th until Patrick Wisdom hits a 2-run shot. They have 3 2-run shots in the inning. Come on, man. 3 2-run homers in 1 inning, and it's 8-2. This is ridiculous. So we lost 3 to the Mets. Didn't play great against the Phillies. Gonna have to take a special comeback in this one. Looking like we're going to be tied with 2 to play, as that is a double play. A chance for even more in the 8th inning. It's Morel with a grounder, and we'll just get the out at first. 10 runs for Chicago. You like to go into the postseason with a bit more momentum, but we're doing the opposite right now. That's 4 consecutive losses. Rough day for Steven Matz. And there we are, tied at 90 and 70 with Milwaukee. Now, we aren't going to win a tiebreaker over them. They beat us like 12 times this season. So we've got to win 1 more than they do in the last 2. If we lose this next game and they win theirs, the final game doesn't end up meaning a whole lot. The Padres have gotten pretty hot here late. They're 8-2 over their last 10. So whoever misses the division, I believe, would then get the series in San Diego. Sonny Gray's been incredible for us lately, and he's got 1 more regular season start. But when we get to the postseason, we should see him hopefully get that very first game. Forget how many days break there'll be between the end of the year and the wild card series. It might just be 1 day off, but we need this game, so he's pitching. 118 whip. These numbers got to be pretty close to what he did in his final year in Minnesota. Somehow he only had 8 pitcher victories. That's still bizarre given how good he pitched. And the numbers have some overlap with that year. Now, he's been walking more, striking out fewer, so the Minnesota year was more impressive, but it's still a very good season. And now hopefully he's got 1 more in the regular season for us. If we get an update on the Brewers game, we'll know if this is a must-win or not. Wow, Brewers rally from down 6. Thank you for that update. That means if we lose today, we can't win the division. I'm treating this like a player lock game with Sonny. I just don't have the player lock chosen. That way I can hit in the later innings if I want to. Cody Bellinger, 2-2, and he's making Sonny really work for this first out. 9th pitch of the opening AB is strike 3. Madrigal pops one up. Jordan Walker in foul ground makes it 2 down. That one got away from Sonny, and he hits Seiya Suzuki. And now he's missed his last 5, falling behind Wisdom. Not a smart idea. And he walks him on 4. Got lucky that time. Morel comes up empty. This inning is really dragging on here. Pitch 26. Finally got him. We tack a run on in the bottom half of the first. 3 singles in the inning. And then we load the bases. Leave them loaded. And Sonny Gray now with a 1-0 lead. Hap to center. It's for Carlson. Makes the catch. So we are going to be a playoff team. We know that. So now it's safe to project out that playoff roster. I think we're going to have Victor Scott make it over Christian Pache. Scott is just an elite base stealing option. He can play good defense. We know that Pache can play great defense, but I think Scott is just the more intriguing player. Pache is nice to have because he can platoon against lefties, but we'll just have to make sure we have somebody else on the bench that can handle that. That is past Arenado, and Donovan not fleet of foot enough to prevent a double. Victor Scott prevents that double, I know that. Just going to keep pointing out all the plays that Victor Scott could have made after last episode. Sonny ain't his normal self in this game. I feel like we're going to have to just try and hopefully get out of here with like 5 innings, minimal damage. Oh, what a pitch. That was nasty. They know it. Count's not always favoring Sonny here, and that is luckily backhanded by Gorman. A 114 exit velocity ground out. Now getting ahead of Madrigal. We could use some quick at-bats. A 1-2. Fought off. Walker, no! Not able to stop this one. And it's a base hit. Crank to left, Seiya Suzuki. On a miss from Sonny Gray. That was a slurve that just hung over the middle of the plate. And the Cubs are on the board. Now Donovan coming in. He makes a catch. Otherwise would have been the 3rd hit of the inning. That's deep to right and foul. The contact quality isn't very promising today for Sonny. He struck him out on the cutter, and it's 2-1 Cubs. Nootbaar, by the way, still sitting at 29 home runs. He's had a bit of a cold streak lately. Nothing there in the 3rd for St. Louis. And we go top of the 4th. Prepared for this to potentially be Gray's last inning. We kind of have to treat this one like a playoff game. We have to finish 2-0 to have a shot at the division. Even though the Brewers could win both, and it wouldn't matter what we do. Base hit. How nice would a double play ball be right here? Instead of whiff from Swanson as he goes down, 2 strikes. And sends it out to Nootbaar, who is, oh, he's got it. I wasn't sure if he'd get to that spot. On the edge. Great curve. That is strike 3. That's the dominant Sonny Gray. Ahead of Amaya now. Ooh, almost had him that time. Now a full count. He got him. Strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Sonny Gray through 4, and that might be all we ask of him in this game. It is an abbreviated outing for Sonny Gray, and hopefully he's ready to go for one of our first 2 postseason games. If we lose this game, I'll skip Burns' spot in the rotation, and if it doesn't matter, I might just have Roby get it, honestly. But now Andrew Kittredge enters. And Bellinger gets a hit off of him. He's going on the first pitch, and Gorman can't get the out. Come on. Why did you do that? It was such a delayed animation that I hit it again, thinking it missed circle. Hopefully we can leave these guys on base. Kittredge versus Suzuki. Got him! Slider away. Seeing a lineup here that's willing to swing at just about anything. It's already 7 strikeouts for the Cubs. Wisdom! Center field and down. That'll be a run. Trying to get the out at third, and we do. And Morel with a single. So they either strike out or hit the ball insanely hard. Yeah, I'm not sure Kittredge has his best stuff for this game either. 3-0. And now a strike on Happ. Well, that's not his fault. Let's have a pitching change. Here's JoJo Romero. Big spot as we're trying to leave 3 on base. Out in front of it. And it's popped up. Foul ground for Walker with just enough room. Let's see if we can get some offense going now. Jordan Walker, bottom of the 5th. Jordan Wicks is the pitcher, another lefty. And it clips the bottom, strike 1. Couple righties getting up for Chicago. Nasty slider that time. That is pretty well hit to right field. Walker sends it back. That one is caught right in front of the track. Backing him off the plate, we have Wilson Contreras. Cardinals need some big hits to keep their division hopes alive. Sharply hit to Dansby Swanson. Arenado now, and he fouls back a perfectly good fastball. In on the hands, and oh, it drops in no man's land. Base hit. Oh, wait a minute. That Brewers-Red Sox game is in progress right now. So, I saw something earlier that if they win, they clinch. I guess we got to keep an eye on that, too. Out in front, Newt Barr. 29 home runs this season. Right to first base, and that's the 5th. Now tell me something. Why would we name our stadium after the Cubs' first baseman? Doesn't make any sense. Michael Bush, foul. He strikes out looking. That's hit well to left center. A charge behind it. Carlson can't save it. It's gone. 4-1 Chicago. Now Bellinger to right center. Back-to-back jacks for Chicago. All right, I guess it's not JoJo's day now either. Every pitcher we put in is having a bad time. Let's try again. Ryan Fernandez. Good curve. And a hit to right field. Strike 3 on Seiya Suzuki, as we're hoping to keep this a 4-run game the rest of the way. Well, ideally, we'd get some of those runs back, preferably all. But hopefully 5 is all the Cubs can get. And that is solid cleanup duty for Ryan Fernandez. Nearly hitting J.D. Davis is Caleb Killian, the new reliever in for the Cubs. The count is full. Nice cutter, strike 3. Killian nails the outside edge. Gets ahead of Gorman. Cutter in the same spot, nearly strike 3. Gotta fight off these tough pitches. Waiting for an update on the Red Sox Brewers game. It's 4-0 Brewers. It ain't looking good if we gotta come back from down 4, and so do the Red Sox. What's one more home run? Fernandez gives up 1 to Morel, and it's 6-1. Following a walk and a hit by pitch. We got a couple on for St. Louis now with our best hitters coming up. Jordan Walker. Line to second base. We just keep hitting it right at guys. 2-0 to Wilson Contreras. Waiting for Killian to make a mistake. It's a drive to center. Not hit deep enough. And we are going to try for third base. So the inning is left up to Nolan Arenado with first and third. Ooh. No. That pitch just kind of confused me being up there, I guess. Well, maybe one of the only things left to see then is if Lars Nootbaar can hit his 30th home run. That probably won't be it. He's retired. And with that, our division hopes are dashed on the 161st game of the season. The Milwaukee Brewers, who won the World Series a year ago, will be repeating as division champions. We will be a wild card here in Season 2. The Brewers won their game easily, 6-0. Thanks for nothing, Boston. Along with you blowing the 6-run lead in the previous game. 6 runs, top of the 8th. But hey, if we wanted to win this division, we had to do better than winning a couple games against the Brewers this year. They dominated us in the head-to-head, so they're the better team this year. Now, I don't know if there's a matter of seeding here in the last game with the Cubs at 89 wins. Guess I better see. So the first tiebreaker is simply head-to-head. And we've lost the head-to-head this year already. We've won 5, they've won 7. So if we lose the final game, that means we would then face the 3 seed. Phillies have 89 wins. Milwaukee has 91. So the Brewers are safely 1 game up on them. And then the Dodgers have won the West. So it's either we lose and face the Phillies, or we win and get the Padres. We are 3-4 against San Diego. We swept them at home. They swept us at home. And our season series against the Phillies is even. I don't really see a difference in facing them or San Diego on the road in a 3-game set. But I'd rather not have Corbin Burnes pitch this game and instead be fully rested for the postseason. Game 162 for St. Louis, and we are emptying the bench for this game. A very different lineup. We'll see if we win, but I'm not too concerned with what happens here in the last game. Miles Mikolas will get the start, and then I'd like to have Tekoa Roby basically get at least 3 innings at some point in this game. So we'll start this off with quick simulation, and it's a 1-2-3 from Miles Mikolas. I would like to hit with Victor Scott. Got him playing in center field. Got his first big league home run. That's awesome. Scott rolls it over to the one guy that he can't beat out an infield single against. And are we going to get number 30 from Lars Nootbaar, or will we stick at 29? Oh, that's a foul? I thought we were right on it. Well, that is foul, and it's going to end the first inning. Scoreless. Michaelis lets 3 straight reach with 2 gone and gives up the first run. And now we jump to the bottom of the second, where we have 2 aboard for Joey Loperfido. Rule 5 pickup. We'll see if he cracks the playoff roster. That was a little late, very late. 2 strikes. And it's in there for strike 3. Bottom 3, and here is Victor Scott for the second time. Scott hits one high to right, and it's tracked down. So far, seems like Michaelis has had a pretty sharp start. Just 1-0 Cubs. That gets away from Herrera. Maybe not so sharp. That's popped up, though. Joey Loperfido playing first. Gets the second. All right, where was that one then? See, if I threw a pitch like that, bottom of the zone, clearly a strike, I'd ask the ump if it was too high. I don't know if they take kindly to passive-aggressive comments these days, but that's just sometimes what you got to do. That's gone, deep to right. Michael Busch. It's his stadium, after all. It's a home game. Cardinals still looking for some offense. We haven't had a lot to talk about on that side for a little while. 3-0 Cubs. Would like a little momentum here if possible. And he lifts one again. You'd like him to do more with pitches this hittable. And it will be Takoa Roby getting an appearance with a 3-run game. I do think that next year he and Tink Hence will have chances to start on the active roster again. I guess it comes down to, if I have some money in free agency, do I bring in some veterans for those 4th or 5th spots, or just trust that we can figure it out? Because I'm not sure, I don't want to bring back Michaelis. I just think that he's regressed way too much. And then, do I want to spend like $8 million more on a starter? I don't know about that. It's about time, I think, for some of the young guys to take over spots, and we've got a lot of talent down at the minors. And if they get the full season, then we're going to have a chance to see them grow over the course of that year. The experiment didn't pay off ultimately with them taking over for Gibson and Michaelis late. Knew it was risky, but I felt it was worth the risk to see if we can get some pitchers who can play better than those 2 veterans. It just didn't happen. Got lucky on that one, and it's Pache in right field making the catch. I suppose I wouldn't be against, like, a real cheap signing, maybe a couple $1 million. In year 1, if we, traded a bunch of guys, including Sonny Gray, I was going to go sign Julio Teheran off of free agency for a little bit, maybe $1 or $2 million. That kind of signing might be able to work out where we can then, DFA a guy if Roby or Hence get those spots, or we just have someone play for a small salary and those 2 develop. Want to give ourselves options, but I also don't want to just invest a ton into a 5th starter next year. Nootbaar, there it is! Number 30 into the bullpen. There's a milestone here in Season 2. You know, I wouldn't mind coming back and beating these guys while we're at it. He got pretty comfortable throwing pitches down the middle when Victor Scott was just flying out. Lars Nootbaar ain't going to let you get away with those pitches. Now a Let's Go Cards chant is starting to heat up. We bring the fans back a little bit here. It could be their last time at the stadium this season, unless we win our wild card. Out in front of a good cutter. And Arenado is retired. I'm also not against maybe Roby or Hentz if they don't show enough to make the rotation or stay in it next year to be in the bullpen for a little bit, but I don't know if that's as valuable as sending them down to AAA and hopefully seeing them play well and then raise their ratings faster that way. Roby can't make that play. Edman, not in time. 2 strikes now on Amaya. And it bounces away from Herrera, and that is an extra base for Chicago. Not offering on the slider. So a full count. Not close. I wanted to see Roby get a fair amount of action in this game, but he's not playing that well, and the game's close. Gets the out there. That's a good changeup. Maybe we can switch up the approach a bit. 2 strikes. They're swinging at it. Just trying to miss a bat now. He's liking his changeup. And it's flied for Pache, who is able to track it down in the corner. But we'll go fresh arm now with Giovanni Gallegos, who hasn't been great this year, but I'll just prioritize the fresh arm with 2 aboard. Suzuki 2 for 3. Change up in the zone. 2-2. And now full. Runner at first will leave early. And it's ball 4. And Christopher Morel pops it up. Arenado under. And it's still a 2-run game. Here's Pache to lead off the 7th. New pitcher is Yency Almonte. On the ground and picked up at second. Merrifield to the gap now, but run down. And Loperfido, after a bobble, is still thrown out. 1-2-3. All right, hopefully I can finally have a scoreless outing with Matt Moore. I mean, his numbers are incredible. They'd be even better if I just never played with him. Nailed the edge. He struck him out. And now Dansby Swanson. Clipping the top edge. 2-2. Fought it off. Takes the curve and now full. Sometimes it's so difficult to get these at-bats over with. Up and away. Michael Bush, 2-2. And of course, full count. 3-2. It's somehow fouled off. That'll do. Strike 3. Paul Sewald. Oh, what happened this year? 5.75 ERA. Not going great. 6 outs left in our regular season. Oh, first pitch was fantastic. Oh, come on. It should be 2-0. Got him. Strike 3. Here is Victor Scott. And Scott drives one again to right center. And this one touches down. He's got 2 easily. Big hit from Victor Scott. And now trying to get the speedster home. Donovan! Base hit center field. That'll do. 1-run ball game. And that brings up Newt Barr, fresh off his 30th homer of the season. Oh, I didn't want to swing at that. And it's strike 3. So that brings Nolan to the plate. Off the glove, time to recover, and Sewald makes the play at first. So we make it a 1-run game as we go into the 9th. And we'll bring in a new pitcher, Andrew Kittredge. Hopefully this is all we need here. I will warm up Helsley in case. Getting ahead of Amaya, who flies softly to Donovan. Flipping against Wisdom, 2-2. Well, that'll work. Pitching has been good enough. But we need some more runs, and it's the bottom of the 9th. Adbert Alzolay, 46 of 50 this year. He's been excellent. I might look to bring somebody like Gorman off the bench in this inning. 5, 6, 7 due up. Hit Tommy Edman. Tying runs on. If Christian Pache hits a walk-off home run, I'll post 3 episodes tomorrow. That could even include an off-season. Who knows? Tommy has speed, too. That's something to think about here. He threw over. Lifted, and Tommy's going to have to return. Got a high slider and everything. So here's Whit Merrifield now. Merrifield in the air to right. Bring up Gorman already. 26 homers, 93 RBIs, and it's all on him here in game 162. 1-run game. Fastball, he's attacking. I've liked these pitches. Yeah, Tommy has 28 stolen bases this year. I don't know if I'll try one here. I want the bat to do it. No! Slider over the middle. And just ugly timing, and the game and season come to an end. But we got postseason baseball ahead of us now. And that is a wrap on the regular season. And with that, we're going to be a third-place team after spending much of the year in first place. We wind up the final seed in the postseason. A couple years ago, we wouldn't have even been a playoff team, ending on a 6-game losing streak, 90-72. 3 90-win teams to come out of the Central is pretty impressive. And we're going to get that wild card series against the Phillies. So the way I like to do my playoff episodes, if you're not familiar, I know we have to start doing like multi-game episodes, but elimination games get their own video. So in a series like the wild card, 2 games are guaranteed for the next episode. We might win both, we might lose both. Elimination games get their own videos, so if it's a split next time, then we'll have a Game 3 winner take all to the NLDS. But we end the season with the 6th ranked team batting average, scoring the 6th most runs in baseball, and that includes the 11th most home runs. Nootbaar hitting 30. For on-base percentage, 5th. We had Donovan and Nootbaar both play incredibly well this season to lead the way there. And we were the best fielding team in terms of percentage, not the way to look at it these days, but it's all we got here in the game. And for team ERA, 10th. We've been a pretty good pitching team for most of the year, and our top arms have been great. Here are the statistic leaders. Lars Nootbaar leads in homers with 30. We had 5 guys clear 20 this season. Brendan Donovan hit 327. That's just an incredible season for him. He also had a 393 on base, so we had a bunch of guys with strong on-base showings. Highest OPS was Lars Nootbaar with a 942. 36 doubles for Tommy Edman, who also had 8 triples. How about stolen bases? Where's that one hiding? Tommy had 28, Merrifield 15, only a handful for others. Brendan Donovan, a 7.1 WAR player, Nootbaar 6.8, Contreras 5.7, Walker 5.1, Edman 4.8. Heck of a year for a lot of these players. And with our pitchers, Sonny Gray was awesome. Steven Matz, he had a pretty good year as well. I don't think the advanced numbers like him as much, but he did a very good job this year, as did Corbin Burns. Our rotation in the postseason will go either Burns and then Gray, or Gray and then Burns. Steven Matz would be number 3. The 4th guy, it's a toss-up between Michaelis and Gibson. Gibson had better advanced numbers. Matz didn't have the greatest FIP or K per 9 or home run per 9, so he's lucky to have a 3.65 ERA. Ryan Helsley did take a bit of a step back this year. A lot of his ratings went down as he saved 35 but blew 8 games, had an ERA more than double what he posted last season, but he gave up 6 homers this year, which isn't bad. He gave up none last year, which is elite. Matt Moore was solid coming out of the bullpen this year with his 1.89 ERA. Takoa Roby probably won't make the playoff roster. He was up and down. Zach Thompson was solid. Our lefties out of the pen were pretty solid all year. Andrew Kittredge, the best righty. Why did they put Cooper Jerpy on the playoff roster? The game gets a mind of its own sometimes, setting the playoff roster for you. We'll remove Roby from the roster. All right, they do just send everybody to max energy here when the playoffs begin. So Sonny Gray, good to go for that first game. He'll be followed by Corbin Burns. Right now I have Victor Scott, Joey Loperfido, Whit Merrifield, and Jovan Herrera on the bench. Be nice to have a power bat there, but we really don't have one. They're all in the lineup. And we're going to face some really good pitchers in this series, starting with Zach Wheeler. Then you'd get Aaron Nola, and if a third game happens, we got to see Ranger Suarez in the previous episode. We know we're going to have to be productive against some great pitchers. Here are the league leaders this season. Nico Horner had the... Oh, I've already gone too far to see the regular season league leaders, I believe. But I can tell you Juan Soto won the MVP in his first year with the Pittsburgh Pirates, hitting 52 homers, 127 RBIs. The Cy Young went to Shohei Ohtani. I don't think anyone is all that surprised by that. He also had a 34 home run season with a 951 OPS. The AL MVP was Adolis Garcia with 45 home runs. Logan O'Hoppe came in second. So he's absolutely taken off in the franchise both years. And their Cy Young was Shane McClanahan. Rays always have good arms. Xander Bogaerts gets the batting title, 333. What was Donovan? Just a couple points off? 327. Reliever of the year, Adbert Alzolay, who got his 47th save against us. Rookie of the year, Chester Montano. D potential, we saw this same situation play out in the A's franchise with an outfielder, Pedro Duarte, played for the Tigers. So I'm going to boost Montano's potential for winning Rookie of the Year. In the American League, it was Kyle Manzardo. He is an A potential prospect. He doesn't need the boost. Any hardware for our Cardinals this season? Donovan is a Gold Glover at second base. A perfect fielding percentage is pretty impressive. Edman almost had it at short. I did change his position, by the way. This is a little misleading here. Jordan Walker is a Gold Glover, though, because he's listed as a left fielder and not first base, where he had almost 4 times the putouts as everybody else. Wilson Contreras. He wins the Silver Slugger after his brother did twice. So there you have it, everybody. Postseason action comes to the Cardinals franchise next episode. We're on the road in Philadelphia, and we'll see where the rest of this season goes from here. Thank you all for watching today's episode. I love your thoughts down below in the comment section. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There is much more Cardinals franchise on the way, and we'll see where the postseason takes us. Take care, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one.